Hello and welcome to the Nerdiest podcast. Today's episode is a banger. We are going to be talking all things MCU, the future of the MCU, but more specifically, Avengers Doomsday. We're going to be talking about Doomsday. Episode 6 of the Nerdiest podcast on Spotify. Let's go. So, Avengers, the MCU and Avengers Doomsday. That is what this episode 6, is going to be about. This is just going to be me, my thoughts on the MCU, and what some things I would like to see in the future of the franchise, of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, some films I would like to see, some changes I would like to see, and yeah. Then we're going to be talking about some Doomsday. There have been recently some developments in the Doomsday, some leaks online of the Doomsday trailers that they will be dropping for next year. So, let's just get into it, I say. So in exactly 1 year from now, from this episode releasing, Doomsday will be in the cinemas and in the theaters for everyone to watch. So I feel like this is a great moment to release this episode on the 1 year until it releases. They're going to be starting promoting it. They're going to be filming it, wrapping it up. They're going to be... The Doomsday hype starts now, right? So the Doomsday, if you don't know what Doomsday is, Avengers Doomsday is the next lined up Avengers film. So the one after Avengers Endgame. You could count Thunderbolts, or aka the New Avengers, as an Avengers film, but I technically don't because I didn't see it as that. But yeah, so after Endgame, you got Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday. So yeah, this is a very exciting, a big Avengers film. We haven't had one of those since Endgame, which was obviously huge, So, Avengers Endgame, it broke records. It finished the MCU, that saga of the MCU off with a bang. If you got Infinity War, then you got Endgame. The time between Infinity War and Endgame was masterful. Masterfully put together. They left it on such a big cliffhanger, and yeah, it's just such an iconic pair of films that just really, that is, to me, that is what the MCU is. That those two films were peak MCU. You got Doctor Strange teaming up with Iron Man and Hulk. You got Hawkeye, Ronan, you got, all these people, fighting Thanos, of all people. Thanos is obviously the big bad of those Avengers films. You always need a big bad in an Avengers film. So, in the first one it was Ultron. Oh no, that was in Age of Ultron. In the first one it was Loki. Then it was Ultron in Age of Ultron. Then it was obviously Civil War, which is Cap and Iron Man having disagreements over the Avengers. If you haven't seen an Avengers film, I would go watch at least one. Start with the first Avengers, then Age of Ultron, and then so on and so on. Avengers are such a good time. They're so iconic, and they're just one of my favorite comic book teams come to life in film. I think they're just so awesome. You can't go wrong with it. Yeah. And Endgame, Infinity War, those two just made it miles way better than anything else. They will always have a special place in my heart. It's like the Avengers are the team. They are the superhero team. Although they have sort of fallen off. So I recently watched Thunderbolts for the first time. I didn't go see it I didn't go see it when it first came out in the cinemas because I wasn't so wasn't sold on going. It went over my head, to be completely honest. So I watched it a few days ago on Disney Plus, and I gotta say it was pretty good. Way better than I thought it would be. It was it was great. I really enjoyed it. But did I like the fact that it was the new Avengers? And to be completely honest, I did. I don't mind them doing that. I don't care. Like, they're obviously going to have to try new things. They're going to create new teams. They're going to... Storytelling is ever evolving. It's going to be hard to stick with something so good. Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, those were really good, but for how long, right? Those are films that, people will rewatch over and over and they'll love it, love it, love it, but for how long? They want more content. So the future of the MCU, let's get into that first. So Avengers Doomsday, obviously that comes out in a year's time. That's everyone and their mums hyped. We got Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's looking up for the MCU. We've had a rough go these past couple of years. We had, a few flops, a few shows that weren't the best, a few shows that have been cancelled. You got Moon Knight that has been, not renewed. We had Daredevil Born Again. I haven't seen that. I think that's pretty good though. It looks decent. Marvel television, Marvel games, those are fine. It's the Marvel films that are the big ones. That's the money maker. And if they can't make films, what's the whole point of having an MCU, right? What's the whole point of Marvel as a whole? They set up the lore. They used to be comics, right? So it used to be, comics used to be the boss of everything and tell everyone what to do. So if someone dies in the comics, obviously that's the lore of the character and, But now it's the films, right? The films make the big decisions. The films are these big blockbuster, human imagination, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but they teleport you to the world and they make you actually think you're there. That's why they are so important on selling people to these superheroes, fictional, worlds. So yeah, we've got a stacked lineup for the Marvel films, Marvel movies coming out soon. Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man Brand New Day. We've also got some television shows coming out. We've got season 2 of Born Again. Yeah, I think they're fine for now, but the reason why they're fine is because of, you can't forget the past. After Endgame, I felt like a lot of the actors who were in the original Avengers, obviously the Avengers ended in a way that was sort of setting up a new Avengers with Sam Wilson, Bucky, and the people who were left over. And I thought that was a really good way of ending that film. It just felt so perfect. It felt roll off the tongue, Avengers handing over the sword to another Avengers team. I think that was perfect, and I really was excited. Old man Cap on the bench giving his shield to Sam Wilson. It was hype. And then we had, obviously, that was evolved upon in the Captain America and Winter Soldier show on Disney Plus in 2020. I want to say probably not. Probably more recent, right? I remember watching that and thinking it was something new, it was something cool. But at the end of that, obviously, Sam Wilson gets the shield, he becomes Captain America, and he is the new Captain America of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's perfect, right? You don't need to do anything with that, because you've got a Captain America there. We'll go into more depth into that in a minute, because I want to talk about that, but I will have to put a spoiler warning because I will be talking about leaks later on. I will let you know when I do talk about them. When I talk about the leaked trailer, it's only one trailer that's leaked online. I know a lot of people are trying to avoid it, so I'm going to respect that. I personally have seen it, and it's made me make this episode in the first place because I'm a bit flustered by it. I'm a bit like, whoa, why are they doing this? It's a bit controversial, but yeah. So, the future of the MCU looks bright. It looks promising. Films are coming back, Spider-Man's back. And we've got an Avengers film lined up. Avengers films are always going to be bangers. And I don't think Avengers Doomsday will be bad. I think it will make millions and billions of pounds as per usual for Marvel. So yeah, let's talk Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Avengers Doomsday as a whole. What would I like to see in that film? So let's go through, let's just start naming things that I would like to see in Avengers Doomsday. Which actors would I like to see playing which role? How would they interact with other characters? What teams would I like to see teaming up with other teams? What characters would I, vice versa, all this. Let's just go. Okay, so let's start with Fantastic Four. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, there's a new Fantastic Four out. Fantastic Four First Steps with Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn. I forgot is it Jessica Kirby or something like that for Invisible Woman? And then we got the Ben Grimm actor who I forgot his name, unfortunately. Sorry, dude. But yeah, those are the Fantastic Four. And the Fantastic Four film was fantastic. Everything about that film I really liked, and I would love to see it in Avengers Doomsday in some capacity, or, like I said, I'll say Avengers Doomsday. I might mean the future of the MCU as a whole. Like, I may be talking about Avengers Doomsday, I might want to see Fantastic Four in there, but I also would love to see them show up in the future MCU, more films of their own, collabs with Spider-Man, X-Men, big team-up films. Yeah, I would love to see, Pedro Pascal with, Sam Wilson's Captain America, and I would just love to see what the Avengers, the new Avengers, X-Men characters, how would they react to the Fantastic Four's abilities, Human Torch, Ben Grimm. It would just be really fun. I feel like you could make a lot of jokes between, the X-Men and the Fantastic Four about being a mutant, all these things. I think they would interact in such a fun way. Obviously it's Avengers Doomsday, and, Doomsday, Doctor Doom. I keep saying his name's Doomsday, but that's a DC villain. Doctor Doom is a Fantastic Four villain, so I feel like it would be a bit strong having, obviously it's Avengers Doomsday, but Avengers and Fantastic Four have teamed up in multiple books, and it'd be just called Avengers, it could work, it definitely could, just as a cameo, open up a strange portal. I could just see it right now, opening up a strange portal, and you see a hand, elastic hand come out, and fire coming, and Human Torch pelting through the portal. That would be so sick. But this team, obviously the original Fantastic Four was special in its own way with the Silver Surfer. Their suits were awesome. And then you've also got the Fox Fantastic Four, which I would like to say just now, I don't want to see them in this film. I feel like the only Fantastic Four you really need is the new one. You've set them up, you've set their film up really well, and I feel like it would be such a waste if you don't have them cameo in this film, right? Like, Pedro Pascal alone is a talented actor, but all four of them, they are all talented, and they all deserve their moment to shine as a team with the Avengers. Mix and match, do some funny interactions, and yeah, just have a good time with them. Now let's talk about some X-Men. The X-Men characters that I would like to see show up in the future of the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, or Avengers Doomsday. So I would love to see, just as for X-Men on the side, I would just love to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, both Magneto actors and both Charles Xavier actors, from the both different franchises from the X-Men franchises. If that doesn't make sense, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm trying to make it make sense. There's two X-Men franchises. One of them is when they're a bit younger, and one of them is when they're older, and yeah. So it's like prequels and trequels. I don't know what it is. But they have interacted before in an X-Men film. I forgot the name of it, but it was really good. And I would love to see, Charles Xavier interact with his younger self or with the older Magneto. I feel like that would be really cool. I would love to see Magneto interacting with, other characters in the Marvel Universe. You can have Spider-Man, Captain America, Doom himself. I feel like the X-Men have crossed paths with Doom before, and he would be a good adversary, and and the Avengers would need the support of the X-Men, of the mutants. So that's one way you can integrate them into the storyline. But yeah, I would love to see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Would I like to see, though, they come as a package deal, so would I like to see Deadpool? Deadpool is a possibility. I feel like here's the thing, they set up Deadpool and Wolverine in the movie into the MCU, so it makes Hugh Jackman's Wolverine a part of the MCU, so it's 100% possible for him to show up in this film, and as well as Deadpool, obviously, but I don't know if he will show up. I feel like because it's an Avengers film, it's too serious, it's too big of a film to have such a comedic character. I obviously would love to see that Deadpool and Wolverine movie versions of those characters in this film. That would be such a great oh my god moment, and it would make so many jokes. Him interacting with the Fantastic Four would be so fun. And him interacting with maybe other versions of himself from other, you could do so much with this universe. We've seen it before in Deadpool and Wolverine, where, Deadpool hunts down Wolverine throughout different timelines. That is what I'm talking about here. This is where a montage of going through timelines, and you see the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the New Avengers, you see Old Man Cap, you see, different universes in the Marvel Universe. I feel like that would be super cool. It's been confirmed, I think, that Beast is in this film. Obviously, a handful of X-Men actors are returning. It's been confirmed. I don't have the list right now, but, yeah, as well as the Fantastic Four have been confirmed. So they have been confirmed, but obviously to what capacity are they in this film? If they have a chair with their name on it, that obviously means they have a quite big role, I'm assuming, but you can never just assume. So, who else has been confirmed? Well, the New Avengers have been confirmed, I'm pretty sure. So that's Bucky, Red Guardian, that other Cap, I forgot his name. His name's like Steve something. No, it's not Steve, is it? I don't know what his name is. And then you got, Yelena, isn't it? Yeah, Yelena as well. And obviously the other one, I forgot her name, the one from Ant-Man. They could all be, I feel like they left the, Thunderbolts film with a good setup. They set it up really well with that Fantastic Four cameo at the end. That's gonna roll straight into Doomsday. That's going to pretty much confirms that they are going to be in Avengers Doomsday, the Fantastic Four and the New Avengers. I just love the New Avengers because the New Avengers are a bunch of like almost anti-hero characters. They're sort of like gritty, dark, Red Guardians, a super soldier from Russia, and then the Fantastic Four, they're this bright, hopeful group of people who have special powers from space, and they are heroes in their own right. They're not anti-heroes, they're heroes. I would love to see that interaction between the two teams, which I'm sure we're going to get. And as for Doom himself, obviously this is Avengers Doomsday, right? So it's his day to shine. It's been confirmed that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Dr. Doom in some capacity, so it hasn't been confirmed whether he will take off his mask and it would be revealed that he is, quote unquote Iron Man, Tony Stark. We don't know that. We don't know that if he will remain masked. He would remain masked throughout the films. That is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it isn't such a nostalgia pool where it just like, oh, look who it is. It's Tony Stark. He's back. He's alive. Oh, we gotta save him because he's doomed for some reason. And then they have to kill him because he's evil. And then Spider-Man starts crying for some reason. And it's like, well, what the heck, Doomsday, though, I think Doctor Doom, he needs to make his big MCU appearance. He needs to be ominous. He needs to be hooded. He needs to be a metallic man with scary peering eyes. I feel like that would be so dope. He needs to be very calculated, cold. And yeah, it's just really exciting because Doctor Doom is such a badass. And Robert Downey Jr. is a really good actor, and I do have faith that he will deliver for this role. His interactions, though, that is the thing, is how would he react to the other teams? Is he Tony Stark in the mask, or is he Doctor Doom? I think it's confirmed that he is Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom, and not Tony Stark, which I love because I don't want it to be Tony Stark. Tony Stark's dead, right? I don't want them to bring back Tony after Endgame. But yeah, the suit looks good. I haven't seen it fully. Obviously, nobody has yet, but some leaks have come out, and the suit looks really good. It just gets me really excited. Avengers Doomsday, Fantastic Four, X-Men, the New Avengers, and Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom. Victor Von Doom, he needed to make his appearance because he's such a Marvel villain. You got Thanos, Galactus, and Victor Von Doom. Those are like the top 3 evil guys of Marvel, right? There's obviously loads more, but these are the top 3, and they nailed Galactus and they nailed Thanos. So now they need to nail Doomsday, Doctor Doom. So yeah, that is what I would like from Doomsday. I was about to say what I would like from Doctor Doom, but it's Doomsday. So Avengers Doomsday comes out from a year from now. A lot can change in a year. Obviously, I don't know how much they filmed or what extent they filmed, but it would make sense for them to do it now, because if you want these teams that I've mentioned, the Fantastic Four, the New Avengers, do it now whilst they're still set up, right? Don't make a bunch of other films with those teams. Or make as many make as many films as possible, right? But don't go and ruin these characters before this comes out, because then it was like you've set it all up. You can't go make more films in a year, but you set it all up. Don't go screwing it up. They've left it on a really good note. They've had a rough patch, I feel like, with recent films. And they realized this, and they've done some drastic changes to their thought process. So, they now understand how to build hype. Revealing that Robert Downey Jr. is Victor Von Doom has skyrocketed the hype for this film. So I feel like they have done that on purpose, right? Obviously. That wasn't leaked. That was announced at Comic-Con or whatever. But yeah, let's get into some other leaks. Let's get into some leaks for this film. So a few leaks did come out recently. So they were planning on releasing 3 trailers for Avengers Doomsday all the way up until January, I think, or March, or all the way up until it releases, I believe. The first one was meant to center around Steve Rogers. I'm going to say this now. If you do not want leaks for this film, click off the podcast, go listen to your playlist, go listen to another guy talk about it, because I'm going to be talking about some leaks that have surfaced online, and if you're trying to avoid that, I don't want to ruin this film for you. So yeah, you have been warned. Don't go falling asleep and waking up to being spoiled, because I would cry. I don't want to ruin this film. like I said earlier, I have seen these leaks, and that is the reason why I made this episode centered around Doomsday. It's because it's quite controversial. In my opinion, it's quite controversial, and I feel like it needs to be rambled about, talked about, yapped about, right? So I'm going to talk about some leaks. The first leaks that did come out, actually, was the leaked concept art for Doomsday. I'm just going to pull it up right now. Which included a look at Black Panther, Doctor Doom in his white suit. You know, obviously the thing with leaks nowadays is there is AI. AI is a big factor of this. Is it real? Is it not? What I would say to that is you can't know if it's real or not. I'm just going to cover what I think personally is real and what I think could work and could line up with Doomsday, with the film's timeline, right? So the first one we got was of... Let's talk about this one. This one really excites me because it's got Chris Pratt's Star-Lord. Now, obviously, I knew Chris Pratt would be in this film. He is an Avenger. He is Star-Lord. Obviously, he needs to be in this film. But, you know, seeing him here, he sat around a table. He's got a bunch of drinks in, like, this sci-fi bar. And it's a bit of a weird one, actually. I don't know what the heck's going on here. But there's Wiccan. There is Wiccan and, what's his name? Wanda's kid. There is Captain Marvel, Hawkeye's daughter or friend. I haven't really been on top of Marvel for a while, but there's also Ant-Man's daughter as well, and there's Wong. This is the weirdest combination of people I've ever seen. So I'm not going to even try and describe what I think's going on here. I don't know. My best guess is probably Captain, her name's not Captain Marvel, is it? Miss Marvel. My best guess is that Miss Marvel, this is the Young Avengers, and Miss Marvel has come to Chris Pratt and Wong to sort of say to them to get the older team back together or something like that. I don't know. That was a weird one. The next one we got is Black Panther, what looks to be sort of like a Wakandan statue in the background, and Black Panther, obviously Chadwick Boseman, the actor who portrayed Black Panther, has passed away, and obviously in the second Black Panther, Shuri takes over the mantle and becomes Black Panther. But in this one it's a man, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know, obviously that's a big step. Black Panther, I love Black Panther, you know. I would love to see him in Avengers Doomsday for sure. But we'll have to wait and see for that one. Then the next one we got for the next leaked concept art for Doomsday. This one's really cool and quite funny as well. We have got Hulk, Bruce Banner Hulk, and She-Hulk. And it looks like they live in sort of like a village full of Hulk type people, or green people. So I'm assuming this means this is setting up sort of like a Viking Hulk clan. I don't know how I feel about that. They've done a lot of mistakes with Hulk. And also Hulk is meant to show up in a Brand New Day with the Punisher, with Spider-Man in Brand New Day. So I don't know how I feel about this. Obviously a lot can change in a year, so this is just concept art, right? I think it's really cool seeing Hulk, in a village with, clothes, and he looks kind of human, but not at the same time. And She-Hulk, obviously I would love to see her in the, Avengers Doomsday. It's like a Hulk family thing. I don't know what's going on there. What else we got? We got some Fantastic Four leaks of them in the Doomsday. yeah, this is all just like speculation, because obviously if something leaks, they are probably going to change it by the time the film releases. So to talk about it now, it's probably not going to be spoilers, but you know, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to guess what they were trying to achieve here with these pictures. So yeah, we've got Star-Lord with Vision, White Vision. He's missing a hand. Vision's missing a hand. Sat on a couch, eating apples. What the heck? And pizza. This Star-Lord dude just goes around, I think. He just probably goes around and just is a drunk or something. I don't know. Sounds like him. But yeah, Vision's kind of weird to be hanging out with Star-Lord. That's kind of sus. Then we've got another one here of what looks to be a Lady Ultron. I don't know how much of this is real, but it's really cool. I love concept art. And then we got the Pedro Pascal Fantastic Four here, sat around a dinner table with Herbie in the back. This looks really cool. I love this piece of art, actually. It's got the Thing, it's got Fantastic Four, you know, Human Torch and the Invisible Woman. I don't know how they could end up in Doomsday. Obviously, the ending of Thunderbolts, they are definitely on their way to our universe. I'm assuming they've Reed's probably managed to figure something out about the future of this universe, and he's come to save it from all being destroyed. What is this one? Wait, I just missed that. What was that? It looks to me like Franklin Richards. This could be Fantastic Four concept art, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. Yeah, this is cool stuff though. I think this is Fantastic Four concept art. But Doctor Doom, he just looks really, really cool here. I love him. So that's the leaked Doomsday concept art for Doomsday, for the Avengers Doomsday. Now let's talk about the leaked Steve Rogers Captain America trailer. Now this is a big one. I don't know, obviously with AI and everything nowadays, it's so hard to see if anything's real. This could all be made up, and there might not even be an Avengers Doomsday, and we could just be fooled by AI, you know. But yeah, there was a leaked Doomsday trailer for Steve Rogers. You know, a lot of fake stuff online, but this does not look fake to me. So yeah, there was a leaked Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, Doomsday trailer, which was leaked online. It's a minute long. I'm not going to go in depth because obviously spoilers. It could be AI. I don't know. You know, it's hard to know nowadays. It says that Steve will return in Avengers Doomsday. Now this is what a lot of people have been debating, whether or not Steve Rogers, Captain America, Chris Evans, his Captain America, should it return. In my opinion, I don't think he should have. I don't think he should. I just think it's nostalgia pulling. It's pulling on the heartstrings. Obviously, they did it before with Tony Stark, with Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doomsday, but that works because Doomsday is a masked character. Will Captain America come back? If he does, well, we'll have to wait a year to find out. I'm not very patient though, so if he does, I would not be very happy, because we have had a Captain America for the longest time. Sam Wilson? He has been set up as the Captain America of this universe. And to just put him aside to have the OG come back, I feel like that's just such a letdown, man. It's so lazy, right? either kill Sam Wilson off and then have him come back as Captain America, or just don't have him come back, because the Captain America mantle is come back. The Captain America mantle is in the hands of Sam Wilson, right? You can't just steal that from Sam, and it's not fair for the actor as well to have such a well-known actor come back and to take your character away from you. It's not fair. Will I go watch it if he does return, if it is announced that he is returning? Obviously I will. I love Captain America. But I won't be very impressed. I'm not very hyped as well, because I just feel like that's just using a character that was beloved, that you purposely removed from your universe. Like at the end of the Endgame, he went back with all the stones and he was old man Captain America. Obviously that leaves the door open for him to come back in another universe. But for now, he was gone, right? And I was happy with that. I was happy with that ending. He got to live a normal life, you know. And I don't know, man. This is why I wanted to talk about it on this episode, is because it's such a, I don't know, you know. It's such like, a predicament, because I love the character. I love the actor. I want him to come back. I want all these things, but you have an actor who's perfect for the role. He's doing the role now. So I'm assuming they saw that Sam Wilson's cap with the Winter Soldier, the Captain America Brave New World didn't sell well. They probably panicked a little bit. So, I mean, fair play to them. They have these utilities. They have these characters it's Marvel's characters, but I feel like after Stan Lee passed, Marvel's gone a little bit kerfuffled with what they're trying to do. And I know Stan Lee wasn't like lead of Marvel Studios, but he was the guy that kept it all together, I feel like. And I'm not just going to hate on Marvel. Obviously, I'm the biggest Marvel fan in the world. But yeah, it's just kind of gone to the dogs, really. I'm a little bit peed off, because I just don't see why they would need to bring back Captain America when you already have a Captain America, and bring back Robbie Downey Jr. when you've killed off Iron Man. One thing that would really make me angry is if they obviously made Doom take off the mask and boom, it's Tony Stark and Spider-Man starts crying or whatever. That would finish me over, and I would not like that at all. I want Doom to be Doom, and I want Captain America to be Sam Wilson. I would obviously love to see Chris Evans' cameo as another alternative Captain America. Side by side with Sam Wilson would be dope, but I don't want him to stay, and I don't want him to, overtake Sam Wilson. I feel like he deserves being Captain America for at least one Avengers film. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on the future of the MCU. Doomsday, Fantastic Four. We've talked about Fantastic Four, X-Men, the New Avengers, the whole Captain America situation. What else is there to talk about? I don't know. I think my tongue is gonna fall off in a minute. But yeah. So that is episode 6 of the Nerdiest podcast on Spotify. A little bit of a rambly one today, because it was sort of like me trying to get things off my chest, because I'm a bit annoyed by this leak. I hope it isn't true. I hope Chris Evans comes back, but not as our Captain America. I want him to come back as maybe a alternative universe Captain America, and give Sam Wilson the leader spotlight that he deserves. Did I like Brave New World? I didn't really like that film. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought it was kind of mid at best. But would I rather them improve that and give him more spotlight and make him a leader of an Avengers film, instead of just throwing him to the dogs and letting the OG take over? I would not like that at all. let's go with the first option. Give him a chance, and I feel like he would do good. So yeah, that's episode 6. We talked about MCU and Doomsday. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it wasn't annoying or hard to follow. I'm trying to slow down talking a little bit, but when I talk about nerdy stuff, my mouth just rambles on like it's in a race, and I need to remember to breathe. So yeah, apologies for that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode. Share with your friends, and the hype for Doomsday starts now. We got 1 year to wait.